Hi, ladies and dudes. This is Rebecca Lynn Barkley, aka Boobop187. This is my review for the day. And today's review, ladies and dudes, well, my friends, it's that time again for another movie review. And I do want to thank my best friend Josh for helping me out on what kind of movie review that I want to do next, because I did have a 50-50 chance like a couple of years ago if I want to do this movie review or not. And since everybody said it is one of the most overrated films of all time, and also it's one of my most guilty pleasure films of all time. But I'll go ahead and do this movie review anyway. So for my next movie review is Titanic. And yes, like I said, this movie is pretty darn fictional. I know it wasn't based by a true story. Well, half of it is, when the Titanic sank and everyone lost their lives. I feel bad for those people. May rest in peace. And all those good people are Irish. And since I'm a big fan of Irish people myself, this bites. But overall, this is one of my favorite films of all time, and truly one of my favorite guilty pleasure films of all time. And it features our two favorite main characters, Leonardo DiCaprio, who plays Jack Dawson, and Rose, played by Kate Winslet. And they did an outstanding job of playing these two wonderful characters in a very good epic movie. Well, if you get the story. So anyway, without further ado, ladies and dudes, here is my next movie review of Titanic, the 1997 version. And I did see that movie when I was 11 years old back at 1998. So anyway, let's head on to the main plot of the story. So for the main plot of the story is a little sweet 100-year-old lady named Rose is going to tell all the people about this very unique and unknown story when she was only 17 years old, when she became one of the passengers of Titanic. And she really loves that big giant ship so much that's over 100 feet long and all that stuff. And yes, she is a first class girl and she's acting like a lady, using good manners and all that stuff. And let's just say she's in an unhappy life. She's just unhappy for being stuck in the rich world for way too long, and her mother's thinking too much about money, and she's going to get married to some 30-year-old dude named Cal who is a jerk, and he's arrogant and selfish and all that stuff. And let's just say she's not a happy camper for being in the rich world for way too long, and she just want to get out of there as quick as she can. But not until when her life had changed forever in a short period of time, where she began to meet this young, handsome, and a very mysterious artist named Jack Dawson. And Jack Dawson is a carefree guy. He loves freedom so much. He loves to draw pictures, and be with his pals who are third class as well, and all that stuff. And yeah, and this is where their forbidden love story begins for such a short period of time in a very big giant 100 feet ship called Titanic. And that's all I could say about the main plot, the story of Titanic. It's going to be way too long to explain the whole entire story of one of the most greatest ships of all time that died way too soon. If you get the picture, and I guess everybody wants to know is, what the heck do I think about Titanic? Well, to tell you the truth is, ladies and dudes, I frickin' love this movie. This is one of my most favorite movies of all time. I will say it had a good storyline, has fantastic actors and actresses who played their characters very well. Some of them are fictional, some of them are not fictional. I love the settings of the film. It has great special effects. It had a great score, and it has one of the most greatest songs of all time from Celine Dion called "My Heart Will Go On." That's one of my favorite guilty pleasure films of all time, and it has a very good guilty pleasure song. Well, you know me. So anyway, ladies and dudes, let's go on to my strongest points and the weakest points of Titanic. I will say for the strongest points for this movie is a two-way tie, just a tie, between the first half of the movie and that epic and unique score. I will say for the first half of the movie, it's truly my most favorite part about this film because it had a whole lot of good positive signs that happened in this film. Like when we got introduced to Titanic, where it's so big and huge. All the third class and the first class people are having a good time being in that big giant ship where they're doing their own business and all that stuff. Yeah, get to know about Jack and Rose's relationship. And I love all the things that happen in the first class and the third class area, like, what else? I just love everything that happened in the first half of the movie. It's truly one of my favorite parts about the film. Oh yeah, I guess everybody wants to know, what do you think of the part where Rose got naked and Jack is going to start his drawing, his last and final drawing that he'll ever make to draw a picture of Rose while she is naked in that couch? Well, all I can say is don't forget to eat your Kit Kat bars for it if you see some stuff that involves too much information. So don't forget to bring your Kit Kat bars wrapped with you and eat your Kit Kat bars quickly while you're watching that scene. And as for, the first half of the movie is truly the strongest point of the film. I will say for my second strongest point of the film, it has to go to the score. I frickin' love the score. It's one of the most epic and unique scores that I ever heard. It is beautiful, it's tragic, romantic, sad, compassion, passionable. Well, you get the picture. And thanks to James Horner, he may rest in peace. He just made one of the most greatest scores of all time in movie history. That's all I could say about the main score. It's one of the best scores I ever heard. And yeah, James Horner did make so many other scores for other movies, but it's been a while. I haven't heard these amazing scores much, but if I ever do another movie review that features James Horner's score, I'll let you know in the main future whenever I get there, I guess. So for my two best, strongest points of the film, is the score and the first half of the movie. And sadly, I only got one little weak point in the movie, and it's a little bit of a nitpick for me. What will happen if Titanic should have been a rated R film if we did see Jack and Rose's sex scene? Well, to tell you the truth is, we haven't seen much of Jack and Rose's sex scene. All I remember is they just laid down in the back of the car and do it. And we only saw a part where somebody's hand was in that glass. I can't tell if it's Jack or Rose's hand. I don't know whose hand touches the glass. Yeah, the saddest part is we never get to see Jack and Rose's sex scene. You get the picture. We haven't seen the whole frickin' thing. Where is the frickin' sex scene? I mean, if we did see Jack and Rose get naked in that car, and they did it way too much, I guess. So, I will say for my little nitpick of the movie is we never got a chance to see Jack and Rose having sex. And I mean the whole thing. And don't forget to bring your Kit Kat bars with you to eat it. Well, if you know what I mean. And now, let's go on to the characters of this movie. I will go on with the two best characters in the film, Jack and Rose, played by Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet. I will say these two did a great job of playing the two fantastic star-crossed lovers who are trapped in this big giant ship that died way too soon. I will say they had fantastic storylines. They have great personalities and attitudes. They have such great character development and chemistry all this time in this movie, and it's a sad shame they only got to know each other for a short period of time. And the true fun fact is that Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet, they continue on being friends, after their Titanic days are over, move on with their lives and get married and have kids. Well, Kate Winslet did get married a few times, and she does have 2 kids. But it's a sad shame that Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet never had a relationship on their own in their real lives. Well, for as long as they kept their promise in that movie, is they'll never let each other's, they'll never let go. That's the best part about them in real life. They will never let go. I'm sure their legacies of doing movies and all that stuff, their lives will go on and all that stuff. It's hard for me to say. And also, they became Oscar winners. They finally got their rewards in different separate movies. Kate Winslet won her Best Actress Award for The Reader. And this year, Leonardo DiCaprio had finally won his Oscar for The Remnant or something like that. I can't remember that movie. That was based by a true story. But I will never forget them as Jack and Rose. They have such great character development and chemistry, and it's really sad that their relationship had cut short. I just can't tell you what happened at the end of the movie, so I don't want to spoil it for all of you. So, they're good characters overall. So, here's my final thoughts of Titanic. Overall, Titanic is one of the best legendary movies of all time. With a great storyline, great characters, great actors and actresses who worked on the film, great special effects, great score, and good character development and chemistry for Jack and Rose's relationship. And I really love Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet's teamwork when they worked together on this film. And James Cameron did a pretty good job of making one of the best films of all time. And all the others, well, you get the picture. So for my rating for 1 to 10, I decided to give this movie a 9 out of 10. Please check out this movie to believe it. And I'm sorry it's a fictional story, but it has a few parts that was based by a true story. Well, you get the picture. So anyway, that's my whole entire movie review of Titanic. I hope you enjoyed this movie review, and this will be my next hardest one so far. I'm not sure when will I get back to my easiest movie reviews. Well, I'll go back to it really soon. And join me next time on my next movie reviews to come, like Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, Weekend at Bernie's, Great Mouse Detective, Secret of NIMH. You get the rest. I will get going on those movie reviews very, very soon in the main future. But I'm not sure when, but I'll let you know very, very soon. So, I'll see you guys later. Sayonara.